happy with the start. Anderson continuing his spell. A lot of width there.
Yeah.
Full and wide.
Sort of repeat of really the first over. Bowling full and wide, and you just can't bowl that type of delivery to Balbirnie and get away with it. Again, nicely coming down the wicket. Hit back past the bowler. Really good shot there.
High quality shot that, executed beautifully. Just taking a couple of steps down the ground and driving the ball through mid-on. Fine shot. Another 4 to the total. Another 4 to Andrew Balbirnie. He moves on to 42. Nicely played. They'll be looking to get 2. Good cricket. Excellent cricket. Well bowled.
Yeah, certainly a better length to be bowling, especially with Balbirnie so good through the offside. 2 balls left in the over, 74 for the loss of no wickets. Balbirnie moves on to 44, Lawson at 30. And that's it.
And that is the first wicket to fall. Looking to sweep the ball. Perhaps it wasn't quite sweepable length.
No, you often, sort of back in the day, you used to always say you should never premeditate shots, but I think the way the game has evolved these days, it's very much a necessary part of your armoury to do that.
And so Andrew Balbirnie departs, having scored a really good 44. He's set up a nice platform for his colleagues. 74 for the loss of 1 wicket.
Really a disappointing end there for Balbirnie, having scored 12 off the over so far. Probably didn't need to push it any further. In T20 cricket, it's really important that the guys that are in stay in. Sort of turns in a score, you know, 170, 180, if a batsman like Balbirnie stays to the end more lightly.
Yeah.
So Maran certainly would be delighted to see the back of him to bring in a new batsman.
Yeah, quality batsman is Andrew Balbirnie. New batsman for Pembroke is Lorcan Tucker.
10 overs of the first semi-final. Pembroke are now 75 for 1. Lawson is now on 30, and Lorcan Tucker having just reached the middle on a single.
Our on-ground announcer today, Craig Senior. Delighted to have Craig with us. Just reading the score out for the very fine crowd that have gathered here in Pembroke today. As Craig said, after 10 overs, halfway through the innings, Pembroke are 75 for 1. The new batsman, Lorcan Tucker, on 1. Theo Lawson looking set fair on 30. I think there are few more destructive batsmen in this format of the game than Lorcan.
Yeah, it was one
fantastic
positive,
player.
Yeah, it was one positive part of yesterday's game when the Lightning team were in a lot of trouble. Lorcan came in and really batted really well to score 44. Probably a bit disappointed to get out towards the end. Probably had a 50 in him, but he showed the quality.
Got away with that, you'd have to say. He certainly did.
I think the word quality, and then that shot didn't sort of match up to the word quality. Little spoon straight up to the gap at square leg. I think Marty Block probably could have caught that handily enough if he moved a couple of yards to his right.
Yeah.
But
The single brings Lawson on strike. The cry is no, and it's a good cry. 76 for 1. We're in over number 11.
I think what I've liked about Tom Staunton's spell so far, he's bowled really well. He's taken the pace off the ball, which has made it difficult for the batsman to get the boundary. I think that was more of a cry for LBW, more to stop the single being taken rather than a genuine belief that he had the man caught in front.
Well, I don't think we heard too much from our keeper there. Bringing Lorcan Tucker back on strike. I've had the pleasure of seeing a huge amount of Lorcan Tucker from a young boy of 9-10 years of age into the excellent cricketer that he is now. Staunton got away with that very loose delivery.
He certainly did. Happy only to concede one off that. I think the interesting field he has here, he's nobody at 45, and I'm surprised that Lawson hasn't. There we go. Hasn't tried to sweep to that gap. He did indeed there. Big shout for LBW.
Really good delivery, good appeal. Staunton down on his knees, looking to have a word with umpire Bala. Umpire Bala having none of it, getting back into his position. Staunton into his position. In he comes. Should be 2 there. Yeah. Well run. It's a big boundary out there.
It is a big boundary. I'm surprised actually they haven't brought it in today. Generally you see in a lot of the grounds in England for T20 cricket, they move the boundary in. Generally for spectators, it's certainly not for the bowlers, because the guys want to see 6s and 4s, and obviously there's a big boundary here towards the railway track, and I can't imagine there's going to be too many 6s hit out there today.
It'd certainly be a fair puck, all right. Beautiful day here in Pembroke Cricket Club. Earlier on today, Pembroke winning the toss and electing to bat. Having done so, they've bowled 11 overs. We're just about to commence the 12th.
Yeah, we have a change of bowling here from the nursery end. Jamie Brown, who has really bowled well this year. He's a good all-rounder.
Good player.
Good player.
He's scored runs as well.
And what I like about his bowling, probably going to prove me wrong here, he bowls good lines. He's a consistent bowler. The action repeats. He's a canny bowler.
The sound of the dart just fading into the distance. Running alongside us here in Sydney Parade.
I think the batsmen are going to probably try and target the shorter hit down here towards the commentary box.
It's a good start from Brown. It's always good to start with the dot ball.
You certainly have to be, as a Maran fielder, pretty busy with Theo Lawson, both through the point area and the 45 backward square leg area. He really does like to sweep, reverse sweep. And here we go. A sweep down to 45, just the one run, as the score moves on to 82.
Yeah, great athleticism shown by Tyrone Kane there a minute ago. Good bit of cricket. Really good over this from Brown. Just one coming off the first 3 deliveries. He'll be happy with this. Lorcan Tucker back on strike. Tucker on 5. In comes Brown. First maximum of the day.
Yeah, and as I said, I think the short hit here is really an area that Pembroke are going to have to target. And I think Lawson really needs to start looking at doing a bit like what Tucker did there. Come down the wicket, hit over the top.
Really good shot from Lorcan Tucker. Again, nicely played. Hit into the gap. Should just be the single, is just the single. Good throw. Brown would like to finish the over well. Important delivery this for him. 89 for 1. We're in the 12th over. Brown. Should just be a single, and is just a single. This is the first semi-final between Maran Cricket Club and Pembroke Cricket Club. It is the LHK Insurance's T20 final day.
90 for 1. Theo Lawson on 33, Lorcan Tucker on 12.
If you've just joined us on our broadcast, can I bid you a very good morning? You're very welcome. Lovely to have you with us this morning. Let's hope you're enjoying the cricket. Really good cricket thus far. Pembroke 90 for 1. The start of over number 13. It's a good single.
We've a change of bowling here from the St. John's Road end. Davy coming on to bowl at this end. Again, the third spinner on show here today. I know Pembroke certainly have a good few spinners in their team, so I think spinners are going to be the key today.
Yep, in comes Davy. Didn't quite get hold of it, but gets a single. Out to square leg. It's another run to the total. A total that's creeping closer to 3 figures. We're now into the 90s. 91, 92 for 1. Nicely played by Lawson. Well fielded.
Whilst Lawson is pretty good at the sweep and the reverse sweep, it's sort of not really doing much damage to the Maran team. It's sort of, all it really is doing is getting one more to the total each time. Whilst boundaries really are the key to getting a good total in T20 cricket, and he needs to start sort of opening the shoulders a bit and sort of looking to...
Really good bit of fielding there by John Anderson. Driven firmly through the covers. Anderson diving to his right. Cuts off the single. Good cricket by him.
It's well bowled by the bowler. Batsman not to the pitch of it and squeezes it down to backward point on the boundary. Sean Staunton certainly has been pretty busy out there in the field. Done really well.
Yep. Another 2 runs to the total. Another 2 runs to Lorcan Tucker. Got his first cap earlier on this year in this very format. One of the very
pretty good over there by Maran. To be pleased with that, not a boundary off it. I think that's the key. If Maran can keep bowling overs and not resulting in boundaries, they'll be happy with that, because boundaries certainly would make it difficult for Maran to contain this team.
It's hard to know. I must have a word with Dale McDonough, the head groundsman here. Just trying to work out in my mind what a power score would be. I would have thought 150, 160.
Yeah, I think 150, 160. I did speak to Dale before the match and asked him that very question. And his answer was, I don't know. But I think that was more of a case of not giving too much away.
Well, I have another Pembroke man over to my left-hand side here, and as I mentioned, the digits 150/160. He gave me a nod of approval, so we'll take that as a given.
And here we have the ball hit out to deep mid-wicket, and the bowler didn't bowl the best delivery there in the world, but he's quite happy to have taken that wicket. And as I said, the boundary is a bit big out there, so trying to clear that boundary was always going to be difficult. job.
Lorcan Tucker at 15.
And so Lorcan Tucker departs, having scored a brisk 15. The incoming batsman, all the way from Australia. Mind you, not just for this game. Nick Cutler, the overseas player for Pembroke this year. He joins Theo Lawson. Lawson on 36 not out. Pembroke now 96 for the loss of 2 wickets. We're in over number 14. Big wicket that.
Yeah, big
You're always
wicket.
glad to see the back of Tucker.
Yeah, what Tucker can do, whilst he does enjoy the sweep, the reverse sweep, he generally does have a 360 game and can be a very difficult guy to bowl to when on song.
Absolutely. Lawson on strike. Nicely played. Just pushing it square of the wicket. It's another single to the total. 97 now.
Yeah, what Lawson really needs to do now is take responsibility for the team. He's been in there since the start. He's on 37 not out. Whilst there's not a huge amount of time for the incoming batsmen to settle, it's really important for Lawson to sort of take the game by the
To
scruff of the
Marion,
neck,
yeah.
you know, and sort of kick on here.
Cutler about to face his first delivery. Nicely tucked through the mid-wicket area. Looking for a second. They won't get one. Good bit of fielding. So Cutler off the mark now with his first delivery. He'll be glad of that. Always settles a few nerves in the tummy once you score your first run. Lawson on strike. Well bowled.
Oh, and nearly a misunderstanding there in the middle of the wicket by Lawson, but he sent the...
To be fair, he
Batsman
called
back.
no very early.
Yeah.
Gave him plenty of time to get back, which he did.
6 overs remaining of the innings. Pembroke are on 98 for 2.
And so heading towards the back end of the Pembroke innings. 98 now for the loss of 2 wickets.
I mean, we talked about there an hour ago about the power score. Obviously, we're 52 runs shy of the total of 150. 6 overs left. You'd sort of hope, you know, the team batting here with 8 wickets in hand would get sort of 50, 60 runs off the last 6 overs. And what I've noticed in sort of the shorter form this year is teams tend to have big overs. There's always a big over in them, and whilst you think 10 and over is a big ask, I've often seen games where only last week, the last game, last over, the Maran Clontarf game, I think 28 was scored off the last over to push Maran to 230. So there is a big over here in this Pembroke team, and it's for them really to take it.
Yeah, and as you so rightly say, it's such a key ingredient in this format of the game. The call is too early.
It's a good bit of fielding, keeping it to 1.
Excellent bit of fielding. Receives great encouragement from his colleagues.
Disappointing there really from Lawson. Really over-pitched, mistimed it through the wide mid-on area.
Sort of off the splice of the bat, really.
Yeah.
You could hear it from here. Cutler just pushing it out into the covers for no run. Oh,
There we have another big high full toss. Scream of shout from the players here of a no ball. I probably wouldn't disagree with them there.
no. Certainly very close, I would have thought. The 100 up now for Pembroke.
That's a good bit
Oh,
of
it's a
fielding.
splendid bit of fielding.
Excellent bit of fielding there.
Terrific bit of fielding there. The slide stop and the throw, all in one movement. His colleagues, his Marion colleagues, in their traditional green and maroon sleeves.
Past the 100 mark in the 15th over.
This is finals day in Leinster cricket, with thanks to LHK Insurances. Thank you to them. We greatly appreciate their support. Other sponsors today, of course, involved in Leinster cricket, Cairn Homes and IBI. Good to have them on board. Lovely banners dotted around the ground. Adds greatly to the occasion.
Again, Maran comes in, just back of a length. Then Lawson squeezes out to the cover boundary. Only one run there scored.
Brown's bowled well.
Yeah, he's a tidy bowler. He's probably bowled one loose delivery so far. That happened to pick up the wicket, but he's bowled pretty tidily. And good fielding there by Tom Staunton, keeping it to just one run. I think something's got to give here by Lawson. He's going to have to try and do something.
In comes Brown.
And there we have a good bit of batting coming down the wicket. Brown overpitched it. And Lawson hit it nicely through the gap at deep mid-wicket for 4.
Yep, fine shot. As you so rightly said, Lawson is really going to have to hit the accelerator.
Yeah.
Pedal pretty shortly now. He's batted the entire innings. He's moved on to 45 now. Pembroke have moved on to 109. We're in the 16th over. Earlier on, Pembroke won the toss and elected to bat. It's a good single. Umpire block. Quickly getting into position there. Extends his arm, takes his arm down. In comes Brown. Nicely played. It's a very good shot. Beautifully executed.
Yeah, lovely shot over extra cover there to finish off the over. Another 4 scored. That's 2 4s off the over, and that really is what Pembroke need. They need to really score a minimum of 2 boundaries and over to push them up to 160, 170.
4 overs remaining. Pembroke are now 114 for 2. Theo Lawson just short of his half century. And Nick Cutler on 5.
Well bowled there by the bowler, giving it plenty of flight. Batsman coming down the wicket, pushing it down to long off for 1. And Theo Lawson 1 shy of his 50 in the 17th over. Again comes down the wicket, pushes 1 to point and reaches his 50.
Good round of applause there, and well deserved. Theo Lawson bringing up his 50. We have, delighted to say, on our live stream, good numbers, very good numbers coming at us this morning. Just got a tweet there from a couple of cricketing fans in the Seychelles. So Harry and crew, hello to you. I'm delighted you're enjoying the cricket. The only thing I have to tell you, lads, you'd be better off here today. Sunnier, really good cricket. Forget about the Seychelles, lads. Get back here. Get down to Sydney Parade if you're around today. Promises to be a fantastic day's cricket.
Again, Lawson coming down the wicket, trying to hit over the top. Doesn't quite get to the pitch of it. Miscues it. Luckily falling short of the long off boundary fielder. And picks up 1 run. Again, batsman coming down the wicket, pushing it down to long on. Excellent bit of fielding, keeping it down to just 1 run. Certainly the bowler will be very happy with that over. No boundary scored off it, which has been a key part of the game. Quite interesting, with only 3 overs to go, a bit of water being brought out by Andy Balbirnie. I don't think it was probably water they needed, it was probably more of an instruction of what to do here for the last 18 deliveries.
Well and truly in the back end of the Pembroke innings. Pembroke 119 for 2. We're about to commence the 18th over. Tom Stanton, change of ends. Should just be the single, and is just a single.
I think what we have here now is Tom coming on from the nursery end, and the batsmen are going to really target every delivery. I think got to go down the ground, got to take on this wall here. That's going to be quite a big head out towards the train tracks, so they got to go straight. And here we have an attempt at that, but straight down the throat, at long off too.
And so that is the 3rd wicket to fall in the Pembroke innings. Theo Lawson departs, having scored Theo Lawson departs, having scored 51 runs. The incoming batsman for Pembroke is Ryan Hopkins. Really good cricketer, Ryan.
Yeah, it's quite disappointing really to see Ryan come into bat in the 18th over. For me, he's one of the more destructive bats on his day in Leinster cricket. Won't mess about. If he scores 20, it's going to be a quick 20. And it was maybe something Pembroke missed a trick at the start of the order today, is somebody like Ryan.
Very strong through the V is Ryan. Very strong through mid-on, mid-off. Really good cricketer. Fine seam bowler as well. Former captain here in Pembroke Cricket Club. He asks for guard. He gets guard. In comes Stanton.
And there we have another wicket. I know at the start of the over I sort of said that the batsmen are going to have to target the short hit. To be honest, I don't mind them actually, trying it. It hasn't come off 2 deliveries in a row, but at least they're trying to clear the ropes, hit 6s, because that's certainly what they need.
The 4th wicket fall, Nick Cutler for 9.
And so Nick Cutler departs, having been caught on the long on boundary. Nick scored 9 runs. The total now 120 for 4.
It's obviously British Open weekend here in the UK. Good golf on. And those 2 last shots sort of reminded me of a golfer mistiming a shot, taking the wrong club, and probably they were 1 club short on both those shots there.
Now speak for yourself, son.
You generally pick the right clubs?
Oh, I certainly do. I'm fond of the wedge in hand.
The umpire not too sure what to do there.
I think it brushed his pads.
He obviously felt it did do that.
Yeah, I think it did.
I think he's still apologising as the umpire, Martin.
I think the solution is say nothing, Marty. Well bowled.
It's a really good over.
Yeah, really good over.
Picking up 2 wickets, a few dot balls.
It's a sun-drenched morning here in Pembroke Cricket Club. Nicely played. Oppo just pushing it down the ground, wide of the bowler. Really good over. Very few runs and a couple of wickets coming from it, coming from the 18th over. So just 2 overs remaining. 121 for 4.
18 overs, the score is 121 for 4.
Just seeing lots and lots of tweets coming through to us this morning to say how much people are enjoying the live stream, and it's great to have you here in such numbers. You're all very welcome to finals day in cricket in Leinster. It is the LHK sponsored T20 finals day.
Good bit of fielding there. Keeping it down to just 1 run. I think the key here is for Maran is keep it under 10 off this over. They'd be happy with that. Anything shy of 140, Maran would be delighted.
I think they'd take your hand off if they could keep it to under 10 this over, and it's 1 from 1.
That's well played to the wide mid-on region. Pushing it for 2 runs.
Excellent shot. Yep.
I think that's the key. If you're not getting the boundaries, it's sort of to turn the ones into twos. Ones really aren't.
And it's certainly a ground where there are plenty of twos, plenty of width on offer on either side of the wicket. Edge through to short third man there. It's just another single. Another good over this from a Marion perspective.
That's well weighted there by Hoppo.
Excellent shot from Hoppo.
Yeah, short ball, weighted. Played it actually off the back foot. Whacked it straight over the bowler's head for 6.
Really good shot from a very fine player. Destructive man. And as you so rightly said, Greg, he's a man you'd like to see coming in a little earlier in this format of the game. Looks to go straight down. Should just be 2. And is 2. Good intent. Really good intent on the part of Ryan Hopkins here. They've got to be looking to turn those into twos, Greg.
I'm surprised they didn't sort of take on the fielder. The fielder seemed a bit slow getting to the ball. Obviously had a decent arm when he did get to the ball, but probably at this stage, probably worth taking the risk. Having said that, I think Hopkins would be delighted to be facing the first ball of the last over of the innings.
Absolutely. 134. They'll certainly be looking to post that magical 150.
Finals day, sponsored by LHK Insurance, Pembroke 134 for 4.
And we now have coming on at the nursery end Tyrone Kane, who started out his first 3 overs bowling from the St John's Wood end. Bowled a very good spell.
Yep. Vastly experienced in this format of the game is Tyrone, having been capped for the senior side in T20 cricket. In comes Tyrone Kane. It's the final over of the innings. In he comes, right arm over the wicket.
I'm not sure what happened there. I think maybe a fly in the eye, or
could have just lost his run up, I think.
Maybe the batsman backing up quite keenly. It's a sort of strange score, 134 for 4. Only 4 wickets down. It's sort of in between the sort of winning score really at the moment. Good start there. Playing miss.
Great start. A dot delivery in the final over is like gold dust. Marion will be delighted with that start from Kane.
Interesting with third man up. I think if he gives him width, he'll obviously try and smack it through the covers, but I wouldn't rule out an edge down to the vacant third man area. Whilst he beat him with a good slower ball, unfortunately he was a bit too wide as the umpire outstretched his arm and signalled a wide to the scorers.
It's been a very disciplined bowling attack on the part of Marion. Very few wides. I don't remember too many no balls, if any.
No, certainly not too many extras.
Nope. It's been first class on their part. Their skipper will be delighted with them. In he comes. In comes Kane.
Certainly a fantastic shot there.
Confusion over whether it was 4 or 6. And it's a 4.
It's a 4.
Yep. Really well struck. Excellent shot from Hopkins.
Kane comes into Hopkins. Good length, really sort of very much in the block hole.
There's got to be an easy 2 there.
Yeah, squeeze out to backward square leg. Bowler slightly unlucky there. But I think it's good from a Pembroke point of view that Hopkins is still on strike.
141 for the loss of just 4 wickets. Couple of deliveries to come in this, the final over of the innings. Kane just moving his field ever so slightly, shoving his third man right back onto the boundary. Good delivery.
I think what I've noticed really from the Pembroke team, whilst they've scored 141 runs here, they have scored it without doing very much. It's sort of been a very steady, everything's been steady. There hasn't been any of these big overs that we've talked about. It's been sort of just a steady performance, and it just shows you in T20 cricket, actually, without doing a huge amount, you can get sort of 141, 150 runs on the board quite easily. So that sort of makes me worry for the Pembroke team when Maran actually go out to bat.
Again, an easy 2 there. Been a good last over this. Marion skipper will be delighted with his bowler. Kane back to the mark.
And there we have it.
Just a single, and that concludes the Pembroke innings. Pembroke having scored 144 off their 20 overs, and so Marion require 145 runs to win. Again, if you've joined us on our live stream this morning, can I thank you very much for doing so.
Top scorer Lawson with 51 from 50 balls, and Andrew Balbirnie with 44 from 31 balls.
And so Marion, should I say, come off the field to a good round of applause. They'll be delighted with that.
Sponsored by LHK Insurance, Marion will be chasing 145 for victory.
So we'll take a break on the live stream, and we'll be back to you very shortly, where upon our return Maran will require 145 runs to progress to the final. And welcome back to Pembroke Cricket Club. Delighted to have you with us this afternoon in a sun-drenched Pembroke Cricket Club. Beautiful day here for our T20 Finals Day, sponsored by LHK Insurances, and a big thank you to them. Earlier on today, Pembroke won the toss, and their skipper Paul Lawson decided to bat, and having done so, Pembroke amassed a total of 144, so 145 to win. And I'm delighted to be joined in the commentary box by one D.A. Lewis. Hello, Alan.
Hello, Heatley. Good morning. Beautiful day here in Pembroke. I was interested that Pembroke did win the toss and bat. I thought was pretty strange. The conditions aren't going to change that much, and there's probably not a great degree of variety to their attack, so perhaps knowing what they had to do might have been an easier way for them to possibly win this game. But 144 is a challenging total, as we know, and Ryan Hopkins now has to start well.
Yes, Ryan Hopkins will open the bowling for Pembroke, and will do so from the St. John's Wood end. Right arm over the wicket. The umpire says play. In comes Hopkins.
Oh, that is what we would call in cricketing terms a dolly. And again, first ball of the innings, looks to be skipper Paul Lawson, an absolute dolly to min off.
Was skipper Paul Lawson, and was an absolute dolly.
And they could really rue that. And now another massive chance here should be taken. And incredibly, at 3 attempts, Jack Balbirnie does just that. So Tyrone Kane goes. And really, that's a fantastic start for Pembroke. A gift of a wicket, really. An extraordinary shot from Tyrone Kane at this stage of proceedings. Whilst you've got to go on a power play, a total of 144. It's not massive. And again, as one of the major players in his side, to go first ball in that fashion, not really ideal.
No, I think you'd probably describe that as a little loose, a little early, Alan.
Can you imagine if that was at 5 o'clock this evening? The wall in Pembroke would be alive.
Oh, absolutely. We're not quite at midday, and the wall is filling up. So for those of you in and around the D4 or indeed the greater Dublin area, make sure you come on down. It's T20 Finals Day with LHK Insurances, and it promises to be a fantastic day's cricket.
And the Maran professional comes to the crease, Jamie Brown. He's been in the runs, and he'll need them today. And again, a good start this from Pembroke. Really a gift of a wicket. They could have had 2. But, of course, you never know. Had Lawson taken the catch off the first delivery of the day, who knows what Tyrone Kane would have done. But in a general sense, Heatley, I think this revised structure to the T20 has been a success. I think the interesting thing has been just looking at the level of the scores. Far heavier scoring. Probably when the averages are done, I would imagine something around 165 would be par as Maeve Hoey passes us. One of the great bowlers of our time.
Really good opening over this from Ryan Hopkins. Batted very well as well. Fine cricketer. Really useful man to have on your side. Getting plenty of encouragement from his teammates. In comes Hopkins, right arm over the wicket. And that was a great over, great start. So 1 for 1.
So Maran will have to do a little bit of rebuilding here, Heatley. Although games of T20, as you well know, can change in the blink of an eye, and it's often a missed chance, or you know, a big 6 out of the ground, or a big over that changes the concept so quickly in T20. And I think, funnily enough, I think captaincy in T20 is more important than in any other form of the game. You've got to slow it down, you've got to quicken it up at various different times, and Paul Lawson will have his work cut out here, and this is just an example. Like obviously Pembroke have had with the loss of David Murphy this season, which was a big loss for them, and obviously Josh Little today away on under-19 duty. So there'll be a filler spin here, and they're going to have to bowl very well, particularly in this power play. But they couldn't have had a better start. Two things, obviously, as an off-spinner bowling to James Brown, a left-hand batsman. So it'd be very interesting to see, does he get any purchase out of the wicket. He certainly hopes he will create that little bit of doubt, and a field here of no one out on the leg side. Interesting that he's gone with a 5-4 split, which wouldn't have been my design choice. I think bowling to 6 on the offside and trying to force Brown to play on the leg side would probably be a better bet, but we'll see how we go.
In comes Jack Balbirnie. Good first delivery. Always good to start with the dot ball. Settles the nerves down very quickly. He'll be delighted with that. They've got to look to take 2 out there. Time and time again.
I would describe that, Heatley, as very poor cricket. There's no need for that boundary rider to be so deep. He should be 10 in there easily. And this is another example, I think, with... And it looks as if there's been a... No, there hasn't been a shift. He's still going with 4 on the leg side, which I find a great surprise. I think he should be trying to shift one of his leg side fielders, Ben Hoey, there at short mid wicket. Probably no need for him there. And that's a pure example of it. There was, you know, the fella in front of square. He's very deep there. Easy single. Ben Hoey's not going to cut that off. And even more surprisingly, his two deep fielders are on the offside.
Earlier on, Alan, you talked about the new format of the Alan Murray Cup. By and large, you've been impressed and happy with the way it's played itself out?
Yes, I have, and I think the interesting thing will be, and because there's a lot of experimentation going on in Leinster cricket at the moment, I kind of think that, you know, perhaps as an opener, I'd like to see this competition move to the start of the season, get, you know, fellas with bat on ball early, and you know, try and play this competition maybe that first fixture in late April through May with the first round of your cups, and it would bring you into an extended league campaign where you can gather momentum with it. That would be probably the only, but overall the actual playing of the games, the 3 games in one day, they've gone very well, and I suppose the only potential downside to that people will talk about would be weather, but these are the things that you've got to cope with from time to time. As I see the great Sean Terry enter the ground, full of smiles. No, don't cover that badge. I know you were a YMer last year. You're fine, pal.
A number of our friends from the Hills Cricket Club just making their way into the ground. Of course, the Hills played Clontarf in the second semi-final, and that promises to be a thriller of a game. The question is, who will they play? Will it be Maran? Will it be Pembroke? All will be decided very shortly. Just about to commence the 3rd over of play. Maran 6 for the loss of 1 wicket. Tyrone Kane, the batsman to fall so far in the Maran innings. Ryan Hopkins continues his spell.
Ryan Hopkins here, Heatley, looking to bowl as straight as he can. He bowled an excellent first over, to be fair. What he's got to do really with his pace is bring the batsman forward. They're not really looking that sure of himself. James Brown won't be used to the slower nature of these pitches, so keep trying to bring him forward.
Really good is the shout, and really good is correct. 2 dot balls to start.
probably the good thing, Heatley, with someone of this pace, he can bring fine leg into the circle. And again, an air of desperation there from Brown. Like, it's interesting, again, these power play overs, everyone believes are so important, and they are. But, and particularly with a field like this, really Pembroke are gambling with 4 in on the leg side, not bowling to 6-3, which is a surprise to me. Hasn't quite got all of that, but that'll be 4.
Yeah, the first boundary of the Maran innings. Moving the score on to 11. We're into double digits now.
You wouldn't be too worried about that if you're the bowler either, Heatley. It's only just got over mid-on at the edge of the circle.
Oh, I think that carried.
I'm not so sure, Heatley. We might need a replay. We might need the Heatley sector action replay. Would you have got to it?
Steady up, lad.
Doubt it.
Steady up,
but
lad.
You used to play one hand, one bounce. I
yes,
knew you.
that's
Back garden cricket for you.
Nothing wrong with that. Very fond of the one hand, one bounce stuff. Great to see the field car park, the far end of the ground here, starting to fill up now. Such a beautiful day.
What will be interesting down there, Heatley, as time goes on, I don't know, Ciara Metcalf is here, a good local of the ground, but when the sun shines and starts the reflection on those windows, it'll be interesting to see, does it affect any of the batters in particular, but who knows. Who brought you the cakes, Heatley?
Ciara.
Oh, did she?
She has me spoiled.
Okay. Did she bake them this morning, I wonder? I don't know. Can't imagine Ciara would be a baker. No. So Balbirnie going again. Part of the Balbirnie dynasty. Good bowling this from Jack Balbirnie. Field 2 behind square in the offside sweeper, extra cover long off. And 4, surprisingly, in the legs. I'm sure Brown might target this area. No, drifting down leg, that Heatley, I would have thought. You just keep eating that bun, will you? No big breakfast for you this morning. Anita wasn't up.
Afraid not,
doing a little 2 poachers.
Afraid not. I was up in Carrickfergus yesterday evening.
Oh dear, Munster got a bit of a drubbing up there.
Oh, no, not
Did
quite.
they not?
No.
Okay.
And I just got to pay enormous tribute to Carrickfergus Cricket Club. What a day they put on. It was the first time to host any form of interprovincial cricket, and the club were absolutely tremendous because it was a horrible morning.
Well, you will remember we were up there for a pre-season fixture, and they are a wonderful crowd up there. Lord Eagleson, as we know, there's portraits of him all over the pavilion.
Big Egg was ruling all that he's surveyed.
I don't think I've been to a club where I've seen more photographs of
Big
one
Egg.
person in my life.
Oh, Big Egg. Big Egg he's on the stair wall, he's on the bar wall, the lounge wall. Didn't quite hit the...
And I knew it wouldn't take too long. Very appetizing, that field. And out of Pembroke it goes, and no surprise, a little bit like Maran Cricket Club, we see Paul Reynolds entering the field with a few white balls. I think we could be seeing a few disappear today. But a very inviting delivery there from Jack Balbirnie, tossed up in the air, perhaps last ball of the over. You know, sometimes you've got to protect your over. And, you know, having only gone for 2, I think I would have just looked to get out of jail. But Brown has added 6 to the total, with Maran now 21 off 4 overs. Isn't it great to see, Heatley, the sponsorship that's just suddenly emerged? Cairn PLC, Corporate IBI, LHK. Wonderful to see our new sponsors partaking.
Well, I've got to pay great tribute to the new general manager of Leinster Cricket, Philip Smith. He's only been in the job a relatively short time and he's really done a fantastic job. So well done to you, Philip, and I look forward to chatting to you later in the day.
Nice to see one of the great badgers of world cricket appear. Andrew Leonard, one of the greats, toured with him in Amsterdam. He's going for a little lap. He won't talk to me, which is a great tragedy. One of the playing cricket today. Okay, we'll serve up a few first there, Lenya.
They've got to look to take two there, Lou, though. They've got to look
I think he moved across the ground. He was a little bit further in, which he was far too inviting the last time, but he was quick across the ground. Cutler.
Yeah, but coming back to your point, it is great to see so many sponsors getting involved with cricket throughout the province of Leinster now. Cairn and IBI, our match day sponsors today are LHK. And that is the second wicket to fall in the Maran innings.
And there's precisely it, caught by Theo Lawson at short third man. And again, I was explaining earlier, Heatley, the advantage, Hopkins's pace. You can bring third man and fine leg into the circle, and that's precisely what's happened. It's gone gently to Theo Lawson at third man, and Brown will be desperately disappointed. But the man entering the wicket now, John Anderson, comfortably the most prolific club player over the last number of seasons in Leinster cricket, and wonderful in the eye, wonderful to watch, great player, and now of course contracted by Cricket Ireland. But he's really the one here. He's the glue that keeps this Maran team together. So it'll be very interesting, this next phase of the game. An outstanding player of spin, so commonly really with John Anderson, like most batsmen, you've got to try and get him early. But probably now Pembroke going the right way about it. I think certainly if I were the captain of Pembroke, I'd be tempted at this stage to bring the sweeper in on the offside, try and force a wicket, maybe get a slip in. They've got to really get John Anderson out if they're going to look to really win this game. He's such a controlling batsman in these types of situations. 23 for 2. They've posted a deep square leg immediately, which is interesting. Ryan Hopkins doing a great job for his team here. Really is. He's kept the ball up to the bat. He's bowled beautifully straight, which is the requirement. Everyone feels sometimes in these sorts of things that you need bowlers that are bowling at 135, 140 click. You don't. Often what you need is just someone Tim Murtagh-esque who's just going to put it in the right areas more often. And again, big advantage, fine leg third man, so they can play their other fielders out offside now on leg side. They bring in square leg for Dom Joyce. But this is the crucial partnership I sense from Maran.
Well, you are so right when you spoke of the prowess of John Anderson, who has certainly been the finest exponent of this format of the game in Leinster for many years now. Wonderful cricketer. Of course, international cricketer. 2 international cricketers out there now, Dom Joyce and John Anderson.
And that shot trademarked Dom, really. It's a big scoring area for Dom Joyce over extra cover. Very good batsman, Dom Joyce.
Of course, Dom, part of the cricketing dynasty that is the Joyce family. Good cricket all round there.
Yeah, very good single there. John Anderson called Dom Joyce immediately. And often that's all you need is a look. And it's been there. One thing I'd like to speak about, Heatley.
Mm.
Miriam Greeley's honorary membership of the MCC.
Well, I was in touch with Miriam during the week, and I can think of few people in Irish cricket who are more deserving of that award than Miriam. She has been just a fantastic person in Irish cricket. She has been to the forefront of all things women's cricket for so many years now.
Well, for me, she's been the greatest Irish lady cricketer, or woman cricketer, is that what I should say? Ciara? Woman, sorry, excuse me for my terminologies, but she was just great. She was a great cricketer, and I'm not a tweeter, Heatley.
No, you're not,
But
Alan.
if I was a tweeter...
But you are a serial follower.
I am a follower, but if I was a tweeter, it would be #wrong era, would have been my phraseology from Miriam.
Yeah,
she would have loved this era of the game, and you know the way the women's game has developed, Super Threes and everything that goes with it. But I was so proud of her. Photo hangs there. Former Andrews College pupil, as you know, myself and herself, captain at the same time. But there we are.
Come on, the Griff.
Come on, the Griff. So, Marion 30 for 2, 5.1. Lawson into the attack. As friendly a full toss as you'll ever see. Stroked calmly out to deep mid-wicket. Surprised he didn't possibly think about doing more with that, but it's early in his innings. He takes his time. John Anderson picks his moments.
It's funny, it's been a useful delivery in the game thus far. And there's another one. But again, it's just the single. Dom Joyce coming down the wicket.
Obviously, the groundsman Dale Kincaid has been listening to his captain. I've never seen boundaries as far out, but there's probably only one reason for that. And we can probably see that now with virtually an all-out spin attack.
Yeah, as you say, Pembroke unlucky today to be missing Josh Little on Irish under-19 duty, and we wish Josh and all his colleagues the very best of luck as they head into a really important fortnight for them, making their way to Jersey as we speak to play in the under-19 qualifiers. Their campaign kicks off on Monday, and I wish all those boys the very best of luck. Nicely played, soft hands, just pushed to short mid-wicket. It's another single to the total. The total now 35 for the loss of 2 wickets. Lawson continuing with his spell around the wicket.
And that looks as if it's going to scoot away. Anything that passes the field down there. And again, last ball of the over. Jack Balbirnie in the previous over went for 6 off the last ball, and that a little bit unlucky for Paul Lawson. Scooted past backward square for 4. And as we know, anything that goes past there, Heatley, forget about it.
Absolutely. I got to mention, you were on your travels this week.
Yes, downtown Barcelona.
Impressed?
Very. It would be on a bucket list of destinations for anyone to go to. Wonderful city. Thoroughly enjoyed it. The hockey girls...
How did they get on?
Having a tough time would be the way you'd describe it, Heatley. But
so who were the... It was the Irish under-16 national team?
Irish under-16 and under-18s. Under-18s were doing quite well. They won their first 2 games, but the
and
the
so
Irish...
what countries were involved in this tournament?
Netherlands, Belgium, England, Ireland, Spain. And very well-run tournament.
Well, I kept a very close eye on the Irish ladies hockey team, who tragically were beaten by South Africa, a game they had to win to qualify for the World Cup, and unfortunately it wasn't to be their day. Both the Irish ladies and the Irish men's team, 2 really fine teams now who've done so well over the last number of years. So no doubt there was a couple of disappointed hockey players there. Anyway, enough about the hockey. We're here to watch cricket, and watching good cricket we are.
And that's very clever cricket. John Anderson squeezing that on the leg side. Balbirnie on the boundary. Couldn't get to it, but very clever cricket by John Anderson. That's 2 twos he's picked up now, which is always a good sign. A man knows exactly what he's about. That's well bowled from Lorcan Tucker. Faker has had his challenges, burst onto the scene and had 1 or 2 issues with his action, but he's fought back well.
He sure has. Great young cricketer. Part of another great cricketing family, the Tucker family. Of course, Lorcan keeping wicket today. His older brother, capped earlier on for Ireland this year. Fine batsman, destructive batsman is Lorcan Tucker. Just moving the field ever so slightly now.
Irish cricket is full of families. Full of them.
It sure is. That's the nature of the sport, I think. And so Fee Tucker continues his spell. It's another single to the total. 43 now for the loss of 2 wickets.
Did you sleep last night, Heath?
No, I was late home, Lou.
Oh dear.
I was very late last night.
You're not a good sleeper.
No, not great.
No.
Not great, I'm afraid.
Were you on Sky News at 3?
Yes.
Lovely.
Yeah. Was following the exploits, the latest exploits of the Don. The Don is
another man for the job.
Oh, big Spice.
Spice has taken the burden. He's been off the plank.
Oh, Big Spice.
Big Spice is off the plank.
Big Spice has gone for a duck. Yeah. This is good cricket on the part of Maran here. And so that's the end of the 7th over. 45 for the loss of 2 wickets.
Well, this to me is going to be the most important part of the match for Pembroke. This next 5 overs will determine for me one way or the other where this match is going to be won and lost. If they can create a little bit of squeeze, maybe get themselves a wicket. And I think this is a good move. I think Paul Lawson coming round the wicket, it's just far too easy to accumulate with a 5-4 split field. It's just far too easy to accumulate from that line. And very wisely looking to come over the wicket now. 45 for 2 after 7. But
already, I think you could say we could be in for a good game this, Alan. Nicely played, just driven down the ground for a single.
And I think this is something you'll find Maran doing for the next period of play.
Lovely shot. Sort of modern day cricket at its very best. Good cricket all round. Good bit of fielding.
Well, there's 2 that are particularly good. Not this, and 1 got 50 in the first innings for Pembroke. My estimation, one of the best executors of it in the country in Theo Lawson, and obviously John Anderson. Every mother would love him. Sweeps with relish.
There's really been fewer batsmen who've been better on big occasions of late than John Anderson. I just think of the Irish Senior Cup final last year. Where
well, you mentioned the Irish ladies hockey, Heatley, and unfortunately, and I don't know much about the relative teams, but I'm told Ireland on their day should beat South Africa. But you can never, and you talk about big occasions, and you know the most important 4 inches of the bit on the top of your head, and you're absolutely right about John Anderson. He relishes the big occasion, and that's what makes good players great players. And
you were fond of an occasion yourself, Lou.
I did enjoy it.
You certainly did.
Can't say I didn't.
Yeah, no better man. Lawson continuing his spell, coming over the wicket now. Again, just push down the ground. It's another single. The 50 comes up for Maran. 51 for 2 now after 8 overs. Maran losing the toss. Pembroke posting a score of 144 runs. 145 needed to win.
I sense here, Heatley, Pembroke need to be just that little bit braver. It's all a little bit comfortable and easy at the moment. You know, Pembroke really probably need to try and get Maran up to nines and tens, and you know, looking around this field, there isn't a single fielder on the lakeside saving one. So it's so important that Tucker tries to build a little bit of pressure, but pressure is hard to build with a field like this. I think it's going to be hard to drive Tucker, and he's got to, you know, he's got to bowl to a plan, try and keep it up to the batsman, maybe get that square cover in, and just try and develop a few dots, try and build pressure, and you know, get that feeling that you might take a wicket with a delivery. Oh.
Bit of an appeal and hope more than anything else, I think, there.
That's one where I kind of, that's only just missed the leg stump, Heatley, that has. I think it's unfair on a bowler, that sometimes. Joyce got himself across to off stump, and it's only just missed the leg stump for it to be called a wide, but that's the nature of the game. That's the way it is.
Good over this by Tucker. Really good over. Just dragging that one down. It's another wide, bringing the total onto 54 now. 54 for the loss of 2 wickets. This is T20 finals day in Leinster cricket.
And that is precisely, Heatley, what it induces. You see, just those couple of dots. Dom Joyce advancing down the pitch, trying to play aggressively to a ball that wasn't there to be hit. And fortuitous to get an inside edge to Theo Lawson at fine leg. Advances to 26 with Anderson on 14 and looking as calm as ever. And a good piece of fielding there from Hopkins at long on.
Going to ask you, were you in Maran last night?
I was. I thought Northwest went and won the game, played very well. Some injudicious shots, I would have thought, from some of the Leinster batsmen. As I say, a hockey great and a cricket great emerging in front of the commentary box. No.
I think I'd be more inclined to say 2 hockey greats, Lou.
Settle down, Heatley. Settle down. Always full of words, Watkins. Never a dull moment with the big TW. And it looks as if Ben Hoey is coming into the attack.
I think Pembroke would be happy with this start, Lou.
Yes, but sometimes, you know, when the relative ticking over to the clock is as easy as it is at the moment, as I said to you earlier, one big over can bring, late in a game, can bring 8.5s to 5 very quickly. So I think they certainly need to expose one end. And I would think if they're to win this game, John Anderson has to be in the pavilion within the next 5 or 6 overs.
And talking of big overs, 2 men at the wicket now who have enormous talent and more than capable of producing that big over. Dom Joyce, the Maran captain, joined by John Anderson. Just looking to get the screen moved. All happy now. The screen has been moved.
Move. Perfect.
John Joyce not happy to find the solitary fielder in front of the wicket on the offside there. He's done so again. That's good fielding from the skipper there. Parrying the ball in front of him, most importantly. Not easy in front of the mat there too. Always psychologically difficult there.
Big occasion this for Ben Hoey.
Ben Hoey's actually bowled well for Pembroke, times he's played this season. And again, we get to the last ball, Heatley.
Is it not 2?
No, I think it's only 1.
1, okay.
I might be wrong, but I think it's only 1.
We'll find out now.
Maybe Molly would tell us.
I hate to admit it. You were right, Lou Dog.
Thank you very much, Heatley. I've always known my numbers.
Halfway through the Maran innings, they're now 59 for 2, chasing 145 victory in this, the first semi-final of the LHK T20 Finals Day, first semi-final.
Splendid ground announcing there. Big Craig Senior on the mic today. Doing a great job. Well done to you, Craig. And as he so rightly said, halfway through the innings. 59 for 2. We're about to commence the 11th. Really looking forward to the next 10 overs. I think it could be an exciting game, this.
That's what you would call Heatley classic Anderson. Down low, beautifully executed sweep.
Just puts the bowler under pressure when his first delivery is dispatched for a 4. He sort of goes into protective mode a little bit. In comes Lorcan Tucker. An easy 2 there.
Andy Balbirnie needs to anticipate that a little bit better. The minute you see Anderson going into that defensive flicking mode, you should be off the boundary like a light. But that's the skill of Anderson.
Anderson remaining on strike. Tucker the bowler.
Well, bowl Lorcan Tucker gave that one a little bit of air. Wider outside off stump was where he should be. That's where his protection lies. With those 2 fielders behind square, interestingly, they haven't really fielded a ball yet, Heatley, which gives us your own indication. He's probably bowling that little bit straight. Again, that's better from Lorcan Tucker as this game builds and builds and builds.
And I think it could build to a nice crescendo.
He'll feel a bit disappointed with that, but a good effort from Ben Hoey. He's a very good fielder, Ben Hoey.
Yep.
Very committed fielder.
Just squeezing it through Ben Hoey for a single there.
As the Clontarf entourage appear.
The wide delivery.
Billy Barnes, as I call him, all smiles from downtown Cape Town in front of me. Wonder will they be seeing this in downtown Cape Town, Barnesy? Have you told them to tune in? That's good. That's good. That's good. Okay, I'll practice my Afrikaans for them this morning. I promise you, eh?
Yeah, the Clontarf Mafia, that north side mafia, making their way over to the far side of the ground. The railway track
Is
side
your
of
love
the
child
ground.
playing this today for the Turf?
Who's that?
Your love child on the slog sweep?
Oh, JM.
JM?
Oh, I'm sure he is.
Yeah.
I'm sure he is, yeah. He's an important part of that side. There'll be no one more competitive than JM. The cry is 1, and it remains at 1. Good bit of work.
Good from Ben Hoey. This bowling that little bit flatter into the pitch. The wicket is holding a little, which is interesting, which should suit him.
I was going to say, did he get away with that? But no, he didn't. It's a poor delivery.
Commentators curse that.
Yeah, absolutely. .73 now. 73 for 2. We're in the 12th over.
Again, clever from John Anderson, just trying to get that pace on it. And again, a good bit of fielding from Cutler. Tucker now coming to the leg side. Oh,
it's just a single. Andrew Balbirnie gathers and returns the ball to the keeper.
What Maran have done very well here at Heatley, they're just getting a boundary and over. You add 3 or 4 singles to that, you kind of get the drift of what I mean.
It's been a good over for Maran this. Good partnership this, Alan. Should just be the one.
I don't know whether... Is Mully still the coach of Pembroke, or is he... He is, yeah, he's coach. So player coach, obviously, now.
It really is a beautiful day here in Pembroke Cricket Club. It's T20 finals day.
After 12 overs, the score is 77 for 2. Tom Joyce on 32. John Anderson on 29.
So 67 off 8 Heatley. Where's your money?
With the batting side. Certainly while these two remain at the wicket, both men vastly experienced. It's a gorgeous day here in Pembroke, and great to see our advertising hoardings around the ground, Cairn Homes and IBI, and our match day sponsors, LHK Insurances.
Surprising that Dom Joyce looking to hit that leg side. They've taken...
He's gone, and that's a big wicket. It's a very big wicket. Fiachra Tucker will be delighted with that. That's the end of Dom Joyce. Caught and bowled, Fiachra Tucker.
For 32. No, I was just commenting earlier there, Heatley. They'd taken kind of that fine third man away to bring him on the leg side, and you would think with Fiachra Tucker bowling leg spin, that would have been very inviting for Dom Joyce, but he elected to get across himself and play leg side, which was odd, I thought. And he's perished. Next ball, very good catch. I always believe a cotton bowl catch is, outside of, you know, the Ryan Hopkins type one earlier on, but anything that's drilled back, you're off balance. It's a good catch, and he took a smart catch there.
And the incoming batsman for Maran is Tom Stanton.
With Tom Stanton coming in at 5, Heatley,
I haven't seen that before, Lou, I have to say.
Would he be having a bit of a nosebleed?
Well, it's certainly a position in a cricketing context that he's not used to. It's a big opportunity for him now. It's a good start, mind you. Always glad to get off the mark with the first ball that you receive. Well done.
Interestingly, the player I would have been thinking that might have come next was Michael Lewis, a very good runner between the wickets, a very good striker of the ball, and he would have been a very good complement for John Anderson. But I'd be intrigued to see how Tom Staunton goes today.
Just push down the ground for another single.
This is the time, I think, that Pembroke need to squeeze. Particularly with Tom Staunton on strike. Get the sweeper in from the offside. Force him to hit over at this point.
In comes Tucker. Staunton on strike. Looking for a second. Won't happen. Good bit of work on the part of the Pembroke skipper, Paul Lawson, restricting Staunton to just a single. And that concludes the 13th over. 80 for 3.
See, that's a good over from Fiacre Tucker. It's now 9s. Heatley, which is a different...
I have to say, it's one of the things that amazes me, your ability to tell us what the run rate is.
Well, you probably
must be
know
strong
from
on
me,
maths.
I don't do balance sheets.
No, you don't.
I do money in and money out,
Oh,
and as long as there's more coming in than going out, that's my philosophy in life.
You're not bad at that, DA.
Well, I don't know about
But you're
that.
good at working out run rates quickly. It's something I've never been strong at.
Thank you very much. Craig Senior, 9.28 to be exact. Master announcer here from the Pembroke Club, back from the sojourns of Africa. Gladly back, he tells me.
I like his Fox's shirt. Kept a little low. You were asking me an over or two ago as to where my money was. With Joyce and Anderson at the wicket, I said firmly it was on Marion. Your thoughts on that?
Well, I still think with Anderson at the wicket, it's Marion. I've just seen it too often. But I think from a Pembroke point of view, they've got to squeeze Tom Staunton now. And again, that's well bowled by Ben Hoey. He doesn't need to be doing anything inviting. Get it into the pitch. Force Marion to come at him. His only bad ball really was that full toss in the last over, which was easily dispatched by Anderson. He's bowled well apart from that, Ben Hoey. That's good bowling. Very good bowling. And again, John Anderson, you know, you can feel the pressure coming on now, Heatley. Everyone out on the leg side. There isn't a single fielder saving one on the leg side.
Certainly the home crowd will be delighted with what they're seeing so far. Run rate is just creeping up. Oh,
again
there's one of the
a
legends
good
of
over.
Northside cricket.
The blonde bombshell they call Billy Coughlin. Boris Johnson, my roommate in Amsterdam, got mugged. Any wonder he got mugged with a face like that? I think I can work that out, Craig, yes. I think that in my vernacular with the actuary in front of me is 10. Of course, the great photographer for Cricket Europe Ireland, Rodney Smith, used to know his numbers, that man. Whether he still does know his numbers, I don't know, but he's got the lens in front of him at the moment. Eagle-eyed on Jack Balbirnie.
Jack Balbirnie,
So they've got
another
a real chance. And this is what I was saying to Heatley, that just the swing in the space of 2.5 overs, Pembroke have a real chance here.
Just about to say, Jack Balbirnie is one of a number of Pembroke spinners who's bowled really well this year. They're awash with spinners. missing their couple of seamers today. Josh Little away, David Murphy away.
Well, now, hold on. David Murphy's been away all
I
season.
know that, I know that. No, he was back for the last round of the Irish Senior Cup. You may have seen that.
Well, if you remember, Heatley, I don't read Sky News at 3 in the morning.
No, I do.
Or Cricket Leinster websites or any other websites you
do.
might care to mention.
Steady. Keep the heads on. Jack Balbirnie. It's a good shot.
That's, again, trademark John Anderson. The reverse sweep comes out, and he rarely misses out.
Beautifully executed, you'd have to say. But as you say, the pressure will be mounting on Anderson. He's acutely aware that a lot rests in his more than capable hands. Skipper Lawson just having a word with Balbirnie.
I think what they should be learning, Heatley, Pembroke here, from Ben Hoey. Ben Hoey has bowled the ball into the wicket. He's, you know, and it's harder for Anderson to adjust then, whereas that was just a little bit flow. That's better. You see? Just get that ball into the pitch. Make John Anderson come to you a little. Whereas that last delivery, the delivery that went for 4, a bit floaty. So probably a wee bit fortunate to get away with that.
He
just
was.
that bit floaty again. 4 balls gone, I think, in the over.
Staunton has looked to play that shot without any success, I'm afraid, over the last couple of overs.
And you know my feelings on it. You have
I
to be
certainly
very
do.
good on it. And
I certainly
certainly
do.
Tom Staunton has gone 5-0 at this stage with his attempt at that shot. And that's going to be out.
That should be out.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
It's a very good catch, to be fair.
To be fair to him, he called early.
Conor Mullen that was, player coach, I think I can say now. So Tom Staunton goes, probably an experiment that didn't really work for Maran. Soaked up a lot of dot balls, did Tom Staunton. And coming to the wicket is Vikas Demon. Sorry, Vikas. To all our friends and foes all around the world in Asia. If I got Vikas's name wrong and any of his friends are watching, I apologize.
Here comes the demo.
Vikas Demon.
Yep.
And you just get the sense that Vikas, I'm very surprised Michael Lewis hasn't entered the fray. But Vikas likes to put bat to ball. There'll be a lot of bat speed here, Heatley. We played against him earlier in the season on the 2s. And he certainly likes to put bat to ball, does our Vikas.
It's a really good spell, this, for Pembroke. They'll be delighted with how things are progressing. They won the toss. They elected to bat. They scored 144, 145 to win for Maran. Currently, they stand at 92 for 3. We're in the 15th over.
Vikas straight off the mark. And the most important thing is, from Maran point of view, that John Anderson is back on strike.
I've got to correct myself there. There are 4 wickets down in the in the Maran innings.
Again, John Anderson cleverly there, probably knowing he didn't have Dom Joyce or to tear away at the non-striker's end. Possibility of 2 there. And from a Pembroke point of view, here, 1 more inside the circle probably might be the best. You see there, the pressure's going to mount on Vickers now. It's a difficult time. You've got to get your main man on 38 back on strike as much as you can. That's well bowled by Ben Hoey. That's a super shot from John Anderson. Whether it'll go all the way. Oh, that's an extraordinary piece of fielding down there. That's a fantastic piece of fielding. I'm a long, long way away, but perhaps Sunil Gupta has saved his team 2 runs there brilliantly by not giving up. Umpires are quite happy that 2 is the correct total. He dived forward, scooped it back. Brilliant piece of work. Coach Mullen will be happy with that. That ends a very good spell for Ben Hoey. Bowled really well for his team.
The 16th over, the score is 96 for 4. John Anderson now on 40, and Vickers now on 2.
I think this equation, Craig Senior, it's pretty simple. 48 off 4. Thank you very much. Oh, 49. Sorry, I knew the actuary had come in.
I'm absolutely delighted.
I knew the actuary had come in. Sorry, thank you. Well, it's always nice to beat an actuary now and again.
So really big 4 overs coming up. Maran 97 for 4. Just about to commence the 17th over. Captain Paul Lawson. The cry is 1, and it is just 1.
What you would sense here is that Anderson will target an over.
Oh!
No, Marty Block unmoved at square leg. As Lorcan Tucker doesn't just remove the bails, he removes 2 stumps. It looks so inviting at one stage.
There was a lot of how's that's there. There was a chorus of how's that's.
There was a lot of bat speed from Vickers. I did tell you Vickers is a man for bat speed.
Vickers has got to look to go large pretty shortly.
That looks very close.
And
yes,
indeed
it is.
He's got him.
Indeed it is. And Vickers has gone very quickly. LBW to Lawson, and Pembroke have just snuck right back into this match. And looking at it coldly, the spell from Ben Hoey really was the bit that just broke the back of them. Lorcan Tucker getting that wicket, forcing pressure, dot balls.
No, that was Paul Lawson.
Oh no, that was Paul Lawson. Yes, I understand that, Heatley. That was Paul Lawson. Who? But I'm just talking about the pressure that came on earlier in the match.
Absolutely. And the new batsman to the wicket for Maran is Rory Allwright. Rory joining John Anderson, who you really feel has got to be the man to try and get this over the line for Maran. John Anderson on 42.
Another Griff man to the crease. For those of you that don't know.
Come on, the Griff.
The Griff is that well-known hostelry in Ranelagh, Dublin 6, Sandford Park School. My co-commentator today, an absolute doyen of Sandford Park, son of a former headmaster.
Come on, the Griff.
All part of the trivia we bring you on live streaming from the LHK T20, LHK Insurance, commercial, general, insurance brokers, long history and tradition. Paul Lawson. That's well bowled.
It is well bowled, and that single brings up the 100 for Maran.
So, delighted that the mathematics here, there's a touch of test match special about this, a little bit of fun and regalia in the corner from our statisticians. But 15 and over is now the required rate.
And I'm switching predictions, Lou.
Amazing how quickly you go. Amazing how quickly you turn. I've seen it time and time again. Obviously feeling a little bit chilly.
Little parky. Glad to have the jacket on. Sun just has gone to sleep for, I hope, just a couple of minutes.
A little bit like Maran, I sense, Heatley. They've just kind of gone to sleep. And John Anderson is now left with a pretty mammoth task. 45 of 18 deliveries is the required rate.
You, if you were asked for one man who could deliver the goods, but as you say, it's a colossal ask on his part. A lot of instructions being given here. Every ball hugely important. Ryan Hopkins back into the attack.
That's good bowling from Ryan Hopkins. Full in the block hole. Not letting John Anderson get underneath it. He's done very well for his team today. Bowled up front really, really well, did Ryan Hopkins. Got the wicket of Tyrone Kane first ball. Had Dom Joyce dropped first ball by the skipper, but he's back in the attack now. And again, a very important over this. Again, very good bowling. That's excellent bowling again from Ryan Hopkins. Probably a cricketer, Ryan, that could have got a bit more out of himself, I feel. He's a beautiful ball striker, Ryan Hopkins. And that could be out.
This could be out.
And
yes, it is out.
And one just gets the sense that's game, set and match. Fantastic.
I think you're probably right, Lou.
John Anderson gone for 44. And coming to the crease now is Michael Lewis, who I felt should have been here a lot earlier in the fray.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure whether the
Maran
batting order experiment worked as they would like it to have done so.
I don't even know whether it was an experiment. I just can't understand why Michael Lewis is coming in so low down. He's a fantastic athlete. He runs brilliantly between the wickets. He can hit straight hard. And he's just come in at a time when, really, if he pulls this off,
well, I
and
think
Rory, all right, it's Houdini for me.
I think it's a little too late for laughter, I'm afraid, Lou. 102 for 6. We're in the 18th over. 2 new batsmen. Should just be the one.
Again.
Great work by Jack Balbirnie.
Bruno O'Rourke tells me Jack Balbirnie is comfortably Pembroke's best fielder, and he certainly showed it there. Lovely gather and throw. Low into the bowler, exactly what you want. Saving one for his team. You just think of these little things. Sunil Gupta on the boundary. That save of 2, it just lifts the spirits of a team. No different to what Jack Balbirnie's just done there. So Michael Lewis ready to face his first delivery. And you only have to look at that shot, Heatley, to ask yourself, why is Michael Lewis coming in now? Like Tom Staunton came in at 5.
It's a question which I'm sure the good folk of Marion may ask themselves. Here's another opportunity, and it's an opportunity taken.
Catch.
Another really good catch by Jack Balbirnie. And you'd have to say Pembroke right on top in this match now. That's the 7th wicket to fall.
I'd say all the pigeons of Dublin will be flying out to the outskirts. Anyone with sort of Pembroke folklore in their hands for the 5 o'clock kickoff for the final. But there's certainly...
And Rory...
what seems to be a final for them. They've done very well in restricting this team. But I think Marion will look back. They just never really got going.
No.
And I think exactly what you said, Heatley, there's issues with their order. I don't know where they went with their order. Certainly from the Marion teams I've played of old. I think they've got that somewhat mixed up. But there you are.
Oh, here he is. There's the main man today.
Groundsman of the Year, I reckon, has just passed us. Dale Kincaid.
We were just talking about Jack Balbirnie and his splendid ground fielding. Well, what a beautiful surface on which to field. It's just beautiful.
He's done a great job down here. Dale Kincaid this year has the ground looking an absolute picture, as he does in YMCA. Dual purpose Dale. He's done a fantastic job and deserves all the accolades he gets for his ground preparation, his wicket preparation, and today an ideal venue for T20 LHK Finals Day.
Again, it's a good start to the over. Just a single coming off the first ball. Second last over. 40 runs required.
Yeah. It's just a bridge too far, I sense.
It's all...
Will you be doing match interviews after the game, Heatley, or is that part of the package for live streaming?
We will be doing it at the... Here's another... Oh, there's a splendid shot from Michael Lewis. Exactly what you've been talking about, Alan.
Well, hits strongly down the ground, but it's... Unfortunately, I sense a little bit too late.
Too little, too late, I'm afraid. You're right there.
That was well done by Hopkins down there. He could have gone for the catch, but made sure it was restricted to a single, which was certainly the better bet, and a good throw into Lorcan Tucker. Balbirnie continues. And again.
It's well fielded.
I think if they're talking at half time, Jack Balbirnie in particular, I don't think I'd be bowling those floaty deliveries. You know, the bowlers, the spin bowlers who've bowled it into the pitch have been the ones that have had most success, most particularly Ben Hoey in those middle overs. And that would appear to be a simple...
Oh, goodness. Not quite sure what happened there. The sun.
Dear oh me, from Theo Lawson in anyone's vernacular, that was a dolly. And he's proceeded to give it all the sun got in my eyes. I didn't know where it was. But it's not going to matter, I wouldn't have thought.
No. I think you're right, Alan. 31 runs required off the final over of the first semi-final in the LHK Insurance's T20 final day. We're here in Pembroke Cricket Club. Promises to be a great day's cricket. Semi-final number 2 coming up pretty shortly between Clontarf and the Hills. An old north side battle. Promises to be a great game, that.
So Lawson to bowl the final over. And Michael Lewis is gone. You got the sense there that Jack Balbirnie lured him into that.
Big time. Yeah.
And certainly showing his way as comfortably being Pembroke's best fielder in the club. Although I've just had a gesture from the groundsman of the year that he feels he's up there, but he's certainly a good fielder. I haven't seen him for a while.
Steady, boys. There's a lot of grinning going on around me here. And so 1-1-5 for 8 now. We're in the final over. So Pembroke will be progressing to the final. The question is, who will they play? Will it be Clontarf or will it be the Hills? All will be revealed pretty shortly. They look to take 2. Could be in trouble here.
And that's
they
another
are
man
in trouble
gone.
here.
Sunil Gupta again from the deep, getting to the ball quickly and getting it into the bowler's end.
He's a good
As
fielder,
the Clontarf contingent.
Sunil Gupta. He's a fine fielder, fine cricketer.
Former YMer Samir Dutt passing me. Ropu. Clontarf about to begin their warm-up for game 2. Should be a crackerjack game, that. The Hills unbelievably beating our own club Heatley. Neither is there on the night. I still don't know how. I had a bad dream on Tuesday night, and someone told me YM needed 31 off 7 overs with 9 wickets in hand, and they lost.
I think we leave it as a bad dream, Lou.
Oh, geez.
We'll move on from that. It only causes torture, that one. But anyway, this game is all about Pembroke. Well done to them. They have...
And here we... No. Ben Hoey didn't gather the ball there.
Looking for a 3rd run out in a row there. That would have been interesting.
Hat-trick of run-outs.
Hat-trick of
that would have been
run-outs,
interesting.
So what are your movements today, Alan? Are you
My movements today are between here, if you'll have me back, Heatley. And
should just be the single.
My own club's third 11 are playing a cup semi-final in Clontarf, which I'd like to see a bit of.
It looks as though...
your love child has arrived.
There's the great John
the
Mooney.
J.M. Mooney. Love child. Now watch behind the bowler's arm, Mooners. It's not your game.
And a little bit of cat and mouse on the part of the Pembroke skipper there. 117 for 8, and this should be a a relatively straightforward catch. It is a relatively straightforward catch.
I don't know how to describe that game, Heatley.
Yeah.
Like,
well, I think you said earlier on, Alan, that Marion never really got into it, and they didn't.
well, you could actually say that from ball one.
Mm-hmm.
It's just extraordinary. But,
And so that concludes the first semi-final. Congratulations go to Pembroke. Our commiserations to Marion. A very comfortable win in the end for Pembroke. They'll be delighted with that, as will their home contingent. I want to thank Lou for joining me in the commentary box today. Thank you, Alan.
always a pleasure, Heatley.
You might be back with us later on at some stage.
If you'll have me for some time around the final, I'd be delighted to
That's
attend.
exactly when I would like you.
Thank you, Captain.
All the very best.
Bye-bye.
Hello, good afternoon, and welcome back to Pembroke Cricket Club, a sun-drenched Pembroke Cricket Club. Gorgeous day this. We've had our first semi-final, which was won by Pembroke, who comfortably defeated Maran. This is semi-final 2 between Clontarf and the Hills. Earlier on, Clontarf won the toss and elected to bat. Delighted to be joined today by a man who joined me a considerable amount last season, and I say hello and a very good afternoon to Andy Balbirnie. Afternoon to you.
Afternoon, Heatley. Good to be back, and the dynamic duo.
Oh, absolutely.
I
I was looking at a number of photos earlier on this morning and indeed yesterday of you and I wiping the sweat from our respective brows as we sweated up in Stormont, if you remember.
I do, yeah. We've been fortunate whenever we've been on.
Absolutely.
We always seem to have good weather.
Yeah.
Looking forward to this second semi-final.
Absolutely.
It's great to be involved in the first one and get a win. You get to enjoy the afternoon a bit and take a look at who you'll be playing. It looks as if the Hills will open with spin, which isn't uncommon, I suppose, these days in T20. The deck is a touch slow, so it might suit someone like Yaqub Ali.
Absolutely. So, yeah, Yaqub Ali, new to the Hills, having left YMCA last year for
So sad. Started it.
I was about to say for pastures new, but my co-commentator beat me to the mark there. So great encouragement on the part of the Hills here. Yaqub Ali will open the bowling. That great Hills shout, bang bang, and here we go, Yaqub Ali. So Barnes on strike, and his opening partner today, of course, a man who's opened the innings for Clontarf for many a year now, Big Bill Coughlin. Bill is on strike. A single off the first ball. Really looking forward to this game. Promises to be a cracker. So Coughlin on strike. Yaqub Ali over the wicket. Coughlin, no run, just pushing it towards mid-wicket.
Just for people who just tuned in, I think that's Max Sorensen with the gloves on. Not usually his position, but I've heard he's taken it the last few weeks while our keeper's not been playing. So it'll be interesting to see how he goes with the gloves in his hand.
I think the reason the keeper isn't playing today, Balbo, is young Mark Donegan has gone to Jersey with the Irish under-19s. And I know you're a former under-19 Irish skipper yourself, so no doubt we wish them all the very best of luck as they are Jersey bound in their World Cup qualifying competition. Good luck to them. In comes Ali.
It's a good start from Ali. He's attacked the stumps, which is, I suppose, we spoke about in the first game, to bowl as straight as possible. Just cramping Coughlin up a touch here. Ooh. Picked the gap, could go all the way. One bounce four. It's a big boundary out there, that cow corner towards Willfield Road. But a good way to finish for Clontarf. 5 from the first over.
It's and I suppose I'm asking the right man when I say, what do you think a power score here is today?
I suppose when I was out there I was thinking 150. Particularly in kind of knockout cricket, runs on the board, 150 is usually a good score. We managed to defend, I think it was just 140 or 130, quite comfortably in the end, but I think we bowled and fielded very well. So I'd say around the 150 mark is a good score.
Okay. And you certainly won the first semi-final in very convincing fashion. Well done to you, and well done on your knock as well. Batted beautifully.
Yeah, it was tough. This end, this end here is the end Tyrone Kane bowled from, and just a bit of a ridge there and a good length, and it can kind of tend to take off, and it's actually very hard to play. So, I think we scored about 40 in our first 6, but a lot of them came from this end rather than the St. John's Road end.
Okay. Umpires Martin Black and Paul Reynolds today. You seen much of this boy, Ryan Cartwright?
First time seeing him. Haven't. No.
I've seen him a lot actually. He's been impressive.
South African, isn't
Yep.
he? Yeah.
Yeah. Plays he's a Port Elizabeth man, and plays his college cricket out of Nelson Mandela University in Port Elizabeth.
I'm sure he'll be well aware of the Muir College and the connection there
Absolutely.
with a lot of the young guys.
Absolutely.
In Leinster.
Yeah, absolutely. Ryan Cartwright, right arm over the wicket, in he comes.
That's a good length on this pitch. That's the sort of length I spoke about that Tyrone Kane bowled in the first game. Not just back of a length, and it just takes off enough to make it a bit uncomfortable for the batter. Good start from Cartwright, 2 dots in his first over. First 6 overs vital in T20 cricket. Only the 2 men out in the boundary. Fine leg and third man are the 2 men out here. So yeah, first 6 kind of sets the tone for the game. And the Hills have started quite well here.
Nicely played, just pushed into the vacant sort of gully area. It's a single to Barnes. Brings the total on to 6. We're in the second over, 6 without loss. Coughlin on strike. Gotta say the place looks great.
Getting a good bit of shape there by the looks of it. Just swinging away nicely, and he started very well, Cartwright. He's hit that length that I spoke about. Just go back on what you said. We've been fortunate enough to have Dale McDonough on board this year as a groundsman, with a couple of younger lads helping him out, one from YM and Pembroke. But yeah, the place has looked good all summer. Wickets have played well, so credit to Dale and the lads. They've done a good job all season, not just today.
And if I may add to that, it's not just the wickets. The outfield is beautiful to field on.
Yeah.
Particularly the sort of what I would call the rugby pitch. Or
the minefield, as that's been called over the years. And it's actually, to be fair, it's not as hard as it once was. I think there was a lot of guys that went down, with face injuries over the years trying to field out there. It was almost like a challenge in its own. But yeah, they put a lot of work in the pre-season, post-rugby season here, and it's paid off. Oh, it always helps. 5 wides, just nipped down the leg side from Cartwright, and for a part-time wicketkeeper, as athletic as Max Sorensen is, you're always asking a bit with that. That always helps in T20. 5 wides. It's been a good over from Cartwright, but that's the way T20 goes. It can, you can one ball like that or a 6 or a boundary, and it changes the dynamic of the over. A lot of shouting. It's always good with the Hills. You're playing the Hills.
It's great. Yeah,
a lot of voices out there, and they kind of play right to the end, and great spirit. Lovely shot. In Bill Coughlin's arc, gives himself a touch of room. He was expecting the away swinger. He's looked for that all over Cartwright, and with no man out in the cover, he lashes it through. And he's bowled 3 or 4 dot balls in that over, and then he's gone for 10 with that 5 wide. So you can always drag an over back with a couple of balls, and Clontarf have started brightly here, 15 for none off 2.
Dangerous man, Bill Coughlin, in this format. Likes to get on the front foot, and as you say, once it's within his arc, he goes at it.
Yeah, we played a All-Ireland semi-final here 2 or 3 years ago, and I was back for the weekend. Barry McCarthy was playing as well. We had a full team, and Bill came out and got 150 not out chasing and won them the game, and it was one of the best knocks I've seen, particularly at club cricket. So, you know, he's a very good player at this level, Bill Coughlin. He's proven it time and time again, year in, year out. So he's certainly one of the big wickets in this Clontarf team. Big man.
Very big man. Yeah, I was away in Amsterdam with Bill there a fortnight ago on a cricket tour.
Say no more.
No, it was good fun.
Looks like it's Hamid Shah coming on from this
It is,
Willfield
yeah.
Road end.
Yeah.
Just a one over for the Yak. So Shah straight into the attack. Starts with a dot. Like I said, always good to start with the dot. Oh, big sweep. No man out there. Should race away. Quick outfield today here in Pembroke. Goes for 4.
You were just talking at the start of the broadcast. When you look at the Hills this season, they're in a semi-final here. They're in the semi-final of the All-Ireland Senior Cup. They're in the final of the Leinster Senior Cup. It's been a good season for them, and in one sense, by contrast, Tarf, who are in a very dominant position in Division 1 in Leinster cricket, are out of all cup competitions.
Yeah, both very good teams with a lot of experience in them. The Hills certainly recruited well over the winter. Sean Terry and Yakub Ali coming from down the road there in YMCA. 2 good players and obviously a good pro in Cartwright. So yeah, 2 very good teams that are always thereabouts in most competitions.
Great encouragement from the Clontarf contingent, situated of course just outside the clubhouse. It's been a hive of activity, this clubhouse of late, Balbo.
Oh,
there we
stayed
go.
Low. That did stay low, and Barnes has had 2 of his stumps removed there by Shah. Came down the pitch and just snuck under his bat. The first time we've seen one kind of stay that low today. But the Hills make that breakthrough. 21 for 1.
And so Barnes departs, and the incoming batsman for Clontarf is the dangerous Andrew Pointer. Useful man to have coming in at 3.
Yeah, useful, very useful. This Clontarf team do have a lot of depth, so everyone that comes in when they've lost that wicket is well capable of clearing the ropes on all sides of this pitch. So yeah, as one wicket goes down, you know, Pointer's the right man to come in.
Not sure who that is, just passing the commentary booth.
I think he looks like he dressed in the dark anyway.
He showed his athletic skills during the week, mind you.
Yeah, it was an incredible incident, really. I think a lot of people have seen it.
It's the more I think about it, the more I suppose fascinated I am by the whole thing. And I have to say, the footage that you have gathered here just adds to what was perhaps the most extraordinary scene I have ever witnessed or seen on a cricket pitch.
Yeah, it was surreal. I mean, I don't want to kind of talk too much about it because I could talk all day about it. It was that funny, but
all's well that ends well.
Exactly, yeah.
Shah continuing.
I mean, it'll be a bit of a relief to a few of the clubs around Sandymount that we did, you know, there was, the fact of the matter is there was a thief robbing stuff from the change rooms, and fortunately 30 members of the club and other members of the club managed to chase this thief down mid-game, down Willfield Road, and the footage is hilarious, and yeah, I could talk all day about it.
But as you say, it finished well, so I'm glad to report that. So, we've had 3 overs bowled in the second semi-final of the T20 Finals Day. A day sponsored by LHK Insurances, and we thank them very much indeed for their support.
That's the length. I think that's the length that seamers will bowl all day on this pitch. That ridge that has just kind of kept them interested and is almost unplayable because it really does take off and with a bit of pace. So, but Bill Coughlin's obviously a tall man, so they put that sweeper out and they brought the fine leg up just for that one that Bill likes to hit through.
It's a good shot. Coughlin just tucking it off his hips there recently, hitting it sort of backward of square leg.
Yep, and that's the issue with your man out on the sweep. You have to bring your fine leg up, and Cartwright's bowling with enough pace that if you get anything on it, it's going to rush away. So Cartwright under pressure here in the second over, four from it and 2 balls.
Yep. Score moving on to 25 for the loss of 1 wicket. Barnes, the batsman, out. Got to ask you about your own fitness and health. All okay?
Yep, all good. I had a kind of blip there about a month ago, maybe now, where I had a bit of a reoccurrence of my glute injury that I got at the start of the year. But luckily, I took a bit of time off and did some work with Kieran, and I've been able to play the last 2 or 3 weeks pain-free, which is nice.
Feeling good?
Yep, feeling
good. Man.
So we've got a game, I think a 3-day game, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday in the UK with the Wolves, and then again, I think one of a game next week, obviously because of the cup final. So it's just about maintaining it and probably not playing too much cricket when the schedule can get quite busy with club cricket and inter-pros and Wolves games. So, but at the moment it's all good. So,
well, it's great to see you back doing what it is you love, playing cricket. Chance here if he hits.
Nice Showcat there at mid-on. The wily old timer. Bill Coughlin was rushing a bit there, but I suppose if he's still there, it's a good run. So
yep. Amazing man, Naz. He's been playing cricket in Leinster a long time now. Been a great servant to the Hills.
And Rush before that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
In fact, I think the last time I played a finals day was 2008, and we beat Rush in the semi-final, and Naz was playing for Rush then. Yeah, very good cricketer still at this level, and
absolutely.
Be interesting to see when they bring him on for a trundle.
Cartwright, in he comes. It's a good shot. Should just be the 2.
Oh,
no.
He did the hard bit, Yaqub Ali.
He did do the hard bit.
Got around, did the hard bit, got around well, got down well, but just couldn't pick it up clean and trickles over. That's an area where Andrew Pointer has liked it over the years. On his pads, clips it with ease. Cartwright doesn't finish well, finished with a boundary.
It's a good start to this semi-final. Very good start. I'm sure the Clontarf contingent, the large travelling Clontarf contingent, will be happy with this. 4 overs gone and Clontarf 30 for the loss of just 1 wicket. Shah continuing. Coughlin on strike. Be interesting to see this battle now between Shah and Coughlin.
Lovely shot. Almost, you wouldn't even call it a sweep. He's just stood there and used his hands beautifully. He's come around the wicket, Shah, so the angle's perfect for that shot. And like I said, in this 6 overs with only 2 men out and no one in that area, it's a safe enough shot for Bill Coughlin. Bill's moved on to 18 here and he's starting to get settled, and the Hills will be a bit worried. They've bowled okay. They haven't bowled particularly badly, but they've just had that sort of bad ball or 2 and over, and Clontarf find themselves in a good position here in this first 6 overs.
Nicely played. Just pushed through mid-wicket for another single to Coughlin, who moves on to 19. Andrew Pointer on 4. Clontarf on 35. For those of you joining us on the live stream this afternoon, can I say hello and a very good afternoon to you all. Delighted to have you with us. We're bringing you every ball of every game today in this, the Leinster showpiece of T20 cricket. It's finals day and it's courtesy of LHK Insurances. Thank you very much to them. Great to see other Leinster sponsors involved, IBI and Cairn Homes. It's great to see you all and thank you all. My co-commentator this afternoon from the home club now, Andrew Balbirnie. It's a good shot. As you say, Coughlin's starting to look very comfortable out there now, very settled.
Yeah, he is. You know, in T20 cricket, a lot of the spinners don't tend to try to spin it; they just try to restrict. So the two lads have used the pace nicely and found the gaps with ease so far.
So where is your game next week? Where are you heading for?
Southgate in Middlesex, actually. It's a ground I've never been to.
Okay.
I think it used to be an out ground maybe in the mid-2000s, but it's not anymore. So we're playing the young cricketers, the MCC young cricketers, for a 3-day game, which would be good. Quite an experienced side playing next week with the O'Brien boys playing. So yeah, it'll be good. You know, we had a good win there in YMCA 2 weeks ago maybe, or last week. Which was good. It was good cricket. We won the game easily enough in the end, but we were tested, and that's what you sort of want at that level. Is you want to be tested. That A-team Wolves level below international stuff. If we can put cricketers in uncomfortable situations as much as we can, and you can then find out how the players react to that and stuff. So it's not much point in us playing teams where we're going to win easily and you don't get much out of that, but when you're up against it and backs against the wall, you can pick a few players out of that and go, right, you want him on your side. And we did that. You know, we had a lot of good performances in that game, including Jack, of course, with the bat, Nathan Smith, Jacob Mulder with the ball. It was just a good all-round performance. Oh, now Shaukat starts. That'll run away down to us. Heatley, hands at the ready. That. Watch out for your cakes up below you there. No. It's like being in a bakery here. I know the cameras aren't here, but he's got about 4 slices of cake under the table, brownies on the top. So,
well, about to have a lunge at the brownies now any minute.
But Shaukat starts with that keeper up, Max Sorensen up, fine leg is in the ring, and he just slightly off the mark there from Shaukat, but no doubt he'll be back.
Getting great encouragement from Luke Clinton there. Of course, the Clintons a synonymous name with all things in Hills cricket. Fantastic family. Pointer. That's a gorgeous cricket shot. Slightly overpitched.
Yeah, and someone with pointer's class won't miss out on that. It's a long half volley from Shaukat, and he doesn't even have to hit it that hard. He just times it beautifully through that extra cover region. Clontarf going well. This is certainly their first 6 overs. Moved on to 46 now, and you know 50 off 1 and 6 is certainly a batting side's power play.
Good call there from Pointer, sending Coughlin back immediately. Earlier on in the first semi-final, an all Dublin South side affair. Pembroke defeated comfortably in the end, defeated Maran comfortably in the end. Big shout, and he's given him. He's given him. Naz has struck in his first over.
Yeah, it looked pretty good. Marty Block didn't really think about it too long. Showcat bowled that sort of line of length that he has to bowl, attack the stumps and force players to hit down the ground. Great time to get a wicket just before the 6 overs the power play are up, and yeah, a nice wicket for the Hills to get to finish his power play off, but pointed at parts for 13. He looked in good touch, so yeah, 46 for 2. Looks as if John Mooney's coming in at 4 here, so you know, a left-hand, right-hand combination of vastly experienced international cricketer. Just recently moved to Clontarf as player coach. So, you know, like I said earlier with Clontarf, even if you kind of get those early wickets, they still have big players down the lineup. So, you know, John Mooney's been around the block. He's seen it all before, so he's a good man to come in.
You kind of think this is a key partnership, Albo, for Clontarf. You know, 2 enormously experienced cricketers. John Mooney, Bill Coughlin, they've been playing cricket at this level for many, many years now.
Absolutely, and you know, like I said, John Mooney's been there, done that. But I suppose the beauty of this is it's a big occasion. The nerves will still be there; they always are. You know, if they're not, then you're probably best hanging up the boots, because it's good to be nervous. And yeah, John Mooney will know he's coming in here, and you know, the 46 on the board, they've played well, so it's not as if he has
coming in at a nice stage, I would have thought.
Exactly,
you know,
yeah, the field's going to spread in the next over, so he'll be able to have time to get himself in. Oh, won't have that time. Showcat's just nipped one back beautifully.
An absolute corker of a delivery
Through the gate of John Mooney. And as we spoke about, you know, getting in and having time to get in the next over, Showcat's turned this power play around. It looks as if it's going to be the Hills' power play, 46 for 3. A big wicket, Robert Forrest coming in now. No helmet. But a big wicket, John Mooney, first ball. We kind of said at the start of the over, first ball went for 4, but Showcat's come back. He's taken 2 wickets in his first over, 46 for 3.
Yeah, it was a big wicket, that. Showcat displaying all his skills. I was in Carrickfergus last night. Great occasion. The club put on a fantastic game of cricket. They hosted the game, should I say, and it was a huge effort on the part of the club, because it was a really wet day and enormous help on the part of all the members. And my reason for mentioning that is Bob O'Forrest was playing for Munster last night, batted well.
Yeah,
batted very well.
He got a 50 against us in the fixture in Marion.
Batted well that night.
Yeah,
as well.
hits a clean ball. Hits a clean ball. So yeah, like the position Clontarf are in now, they look so comfortably about an over ago, but those 2 quick wickets have changed the momentum of this game. Albert van der Merwe coming on from the Wilfie Road end, starts with a full toss. Coughlin just doesn't even have to hit it too hard, just times the pass to Sean Terry there at extra cover, and it races away. So even though wickets are falling at the other end, Bill Coughlin's still looking to score, and he does that with Van der Merwe's first over. 6 men out now, deep cover, long off, long on, cow corner, backward square, your sort of regulation field to an off spinner.
Yep. He's certainly.
Oh. Bob O'Keefe to get on down the other end and on strike.
Absolutely.
Almost his downfall. Good field from Naz.
Good battle this. 2 very experienced bowlers, Showcat and Albert van der Merwe, the current coach of the Leinster Lightning team.
Gone.
And Coughlin has gone, and all of a sudden this game has really swung the Hills' favour, you'd have to say.
It has, yeah. 2 new men at the crease. You know, Bob O'Forrest has just come in. He hasn't faced the ball yet. Clontarf's number 6 is going to come in here. Bill Coughlin's looked good. He's played well for 25. He maybe didn't have to do that. He's got the 4 off the over already. But the Hills have turned this game around. It's 50 for 4 and 6. And, you know, Clontarf are going to have to rebuild here.
incoming batsman Declan Gallagher.
Not sure whether you've seen Declan play?
I haven't, no.
Good player.
Yeah.
Yeah, good player. Seen a little bit of him, and he's having a good season for Clontarf, and a very important time to come to the wicket from a Clontarf perspective. A former Clontarf youth cricketer, and then emigrated to Australia and has come home, and I think is a teacher. Landed a teaching post back in Dublin, and a good cricketer at that, and a really important innings for him now.
It'll probably suit Albie as well, Albert van der Merwe that is, with the left-hander coming in. There's a touch of spin out there, and Albie is a big spinner to the ball, and a left-hander. If he can even turn one, it'll be in the batter's mind. But like I said, 2 new men in, neither of them have faced the ball. 50 for 4, very well poised.
Maxie's come to life behind the stumps.
He has, maybe he's found his new trade. I think they can hear him in Sandymount. If people in Sandymount are trying to get down, you'll know the hills are fielding. It's good though. It's what you want your keeper doing.
Absolutely, yeah.
They've turned this around now. At a stage where Clontarf looked like they really could turn the screw. The hills are well on top now. Those 4 vital wickets up top.
They sense a bit of blood here, I think, to the hills. Van der Merwe.
I mean, you have a combination of Sorensen and Forrest out there. Could be one of the loudest, loudest bits of cricket in history.
Well, you certainly would have heard Bobo in Carrickfergus Town Centre last night. He was going at it loud and hard. Certainly been a big 12 balls for the Hills. Just about to commence the 8th over. Clontarf 51 for the loss of 4 wickets. Kind of good to see in one sense. We're sort of guaranteed a south side, north side final, which is good.
That's good running. Bobo Forrest almost taking the initiative there, and he's called that from the non-strikers, but they've managed to hustle through for one. Bobo's keen to get in strike, and that's what you want. You want your batters to get you're probably your best batters to get as many balls as they can. This is going to be a tough period though for them. Shaukat tends to have it on a string once he finds his rhythm, so I think Bobo's going to have to bat deep here for the Clontarf to get a good total.
Yeah, I think a lot is resting on Bobo's splendid shoulders. In comes Shaukat. So you say he's certainly found his length.
Brave man, not wearing a helmet, I think. I know the wickets have been good recently, but
you'd always be nervous of that sort of top edge or
yeah, even when you're sweeping. It's
absolutely.
Just, I used to not wear helmets. Swing and a miss from Forrest. Yeah, I used to be the same. I used to, if there was 2 spinners on, I used to take my helmet off. But I once got a bit of a bollocking from 2 of the lads, because I obviously like to sweep the ball a lot, and they were like, all it takes is the top edge, and your front teeth are gone. So, but each to their own. It's whatever you're comfortable with.
Absolutely.
It's worked for him so far this season, Forrest.
52 now. We're in over number 8. We were talking about the form of these two sides. An interesting season for Pembroke as well.
Yeah, it's
going fantastically well. Obviously, you're in the final now of the T20. You're in the semi-final of the All-Ireland. That'll be a great day.
It will, yeah.
Waringstown.
Yeah.
That'll be fantastic.
Tough fixture, but I mean, once you get to the semi-finals, they're all tough fixtures. But yeah, Waringstown are one of the better teams in the country, particularly at home. Takes the inside edge straight to Shah. Good pick up. Oh, he was gone. He was absolutely gone. He was quick off the mark, Shah.
It was a good pick up and turn.
Yeah, it's just not what Clontarf need is a run out. Bob O'Forrest is showing initiative with the running, but at the same time, you don't want to lose a silly run out that will just gift the Hills a wicket. The league form for Pembroke's been up and down. We lost the first game of the season to the Hills. Shah himself got 100 at the end and won them the game. But yeah, we're in the final of the T20 and the All-Ireland semi, so a lot to play for.
Absolutely.
Max Sorensen punches the stumps. I think we might need a new set of stumps after that. Swing and a miss to finish the 8th. Clontarf 54 for 4. Luke Clinton marshalling the troops, getting them through the overs.
And so Albert van der Merwe continuing his spell. Very good first over. You have Albie as your coach with Leinster Lightning now?
Yeah, he's been very good. I suppose. It's a ludicrous run, but they've managed to get through. He's hit it straight back to Halby, but he was a bit off balance. Like I said, Bobo is running hard between the wickets, and with the risk of a run out that obviously comes with it, they are ticking it over, which they need to do. They can't get bogged down. But yeah, Albie's been good. We're very lucky. We have a good squad. We have good depth. But we still got to put in performances. We had a bit of a blip last night. We didn't play well at all, and the Northwest came down and had a plan and played very well and managed to beat us by 6 wickets, I think, or 7 wickets. So yeah, that was a bit of a blip. But we've been fortunate to have guys like Joyce playing with us, Kevy when he's fit. So hopefully we'll be able to bring home some trophies at the end of the season. Full toss from Van der Merwe gets away with it a bit. Forrest just bunts it down to long on.
I saw a young boy, Graham Kennedy, picked up a couple of big wickets.
Yeah, he did, and then batted quite well as well.
He's a good player.
He looked very good. It's the first time I've seen him. Didn't look phased at all, and that's good.
Good player.
As frustrating as it was last night when you see young guys come in and do that, you kind of get a bit excited by it. He batted really well, batted maturely.
Plays his cricket out of Ballyspallin Cricket Club, who I suppose will be deemed a junior club, a very good club, mind you. But Graham is a really big player for them, and another youngster who's Jersey bound.
Lovely place, Jersey. Lovely place to play cricket.
Love it, absolutely
one of the better places to tour.
Yeah.
Are you going over yourself?
I am, yeah, I'm going on in the beginning of the week.
Switch hit, great switch hit. No man out there. Could go all the way.
That's a
Goes
6,
for
is
6.
it?
Fantastic
That's a
hit.
tremendous switch hit.
He went early. Albie threw it up a bit too much, and it's a risky shot, but it's a shot he plays well. I've seen him play.
He hit it flush.
Yeah, he did.
It's a big enough boundary out there.
Yeah, the big boundaries all over the place, and
they
that's
are absolutely
fantastic shot. Good cricket. Gets a gets the applause and cheers from the Clontarf bench. Good finish to that over. 64 for 4 off 9.
Yeah, I just feel this. I've said it before, but I do think that this is an absolutely crucial partnership.
Clontarf has moved on to 64 for 4 off 9 overs.
Yeah, it's obviously clear to see from this game and the first semi-final that, you know, it's not going to be your 200 plays 190 sort of pitch. It's going to be, you know, work hard to get to 150, 160 even, and look to squeeze them when you're defending it. So Clontarf, although they've lost 4 wickets, they're not in the worst position here if they can just build a good partnership.
Yeah, I think your synopsis is bang on the money. It ain't going to be a 200 wicket. I think if Clontarf could post the score that Pembroke posted in the first game here today, if they could look to post that 140, 150.
Yeah, I mean, it's particularly I was speaking to Greg Mullins earlier, in knockout cricket, runs on the board is pretty vital, and if you can put up a good and competitive score, you're right in it. Pick up those early wickets. That's what we managed to do. We picked up 2 wickets in the first 6 overs, and you know the chasing team are always up against it. So although the last few overs haven't gone Clontarf's way, they're still set enough here to get a good competitive total with batters all the way down.
Good to see a couple of fixtures for the men's side. The back end of the season, we have that Cup game against the Dutch, and then a show fixture, lovely fixture up in Stormont. The West Indies come to town.
Yeah, it will be good. You know, we had a very busy start this summer with the. Oh, it's a big hike across the line from Bobo. He's completely against the MCC handbook. He's just trying to give everything to that. It was in the slot, to be fair, but he didn't hold his shape particularly well. And Naz gives out a big yelp as it just misses the off stump. Yeah, you know, we played a lot of games in the first, you know, bulk of the season with Bangladesh, New Zealand and England, and it's been a bit quiet recently, which is a touch frustration, but we've obviously had the great news about test status and full membership. But yeah, two big fixtures coming up. This is great bowling from Shaukat, showing all his experience here. Bowling a good length on this wicket. Having Bobo Forrest in a bit of trouble there at that length. But like I said, yeah, once Shaukat finds this bit of rhythm, he puts it on a string, and batsmen may have to try something different, whether it's a little dink down to fine leg or even a reverse dink or something. If Shaukat's just going to keep bowling into one spot, you've got to change your game. And
good cricket. While I have you, I've got to ask you about the Lords fixture and how special that must have been.
Yeah, it was. It was special, but I'm not going to say but I will. You know, because we performed so badly in the first game, I don't think I enjoyed it as much as I should have, because I felt that we had to put in a performance so badly that I almost couldn't kind of take in everything that was happening. Like, it was a great day, don't get me wrong, but if I'm being honest, I just really wanted us to put in a performance on the Sunday, because we really didn't do that on the Friday. We came in for a lot of stick, and I know it played in a lot of our minds that we were a bit worried. We were sort of limboing between full member status and all that, so we kind of put unnecessary pressure on ourselves to go out and perform. But I mean, looking back on it, it will still be one of the great days in Irish cricket, particularly for me as a player, to see a full house at Lords watching, you know, Ireland against England. It was truly special. But I suppose because of what happened on the Friday before. Oh, has he hit that straight down? Oh, it's a good bit of fielding.
It's a great bit of fielding. to Moss Murphy.
Yeah.
Tremendous bit of fielding there.
Looks as if with the introduction of Ali that Bob O'Forrest may look to get after him from this end. Good bit of fielding from Murphy there at long on. But yeah, like I don't want to say it was a terrible day, but I just, because of the pressure on our performance, maybe didn't enjoy it as much as I thought, but it was still a special day. Easy 2 there, should be man out. Clever batting here from Forrest. Started with two twos off Ali's over. Looking to take back the initiative here from the hills. Hopefully we have many more days like it.
Yeah, I have to say, I wasn't in Bristol. I was in Lords, and whilst I fully understand your answer to my question, I have to say it really was an incredibly, from a spectator's perspective, Balbo, to sit there. I sat sort of midway up the Compton stand, and there was a couple of things that struck me. One, the sea of green that sat around me, and the fact that I knew very few of them, which was fantastic. So to see so many just Irish sports fans coming along to support our national side was just fantastic. And I so enjoyed, and speaking to so many people, it really was in a cricketing context the day of a lifetime. Really, I just thought it was fantastic.
Yeah, and I mean, a lot of, particularly someone like Ed Joyce was there, you know, in the 90s where we were playing kind of Duke of Norfolk teams. That's a clever shot from Gallagher. He's used the pace, opened the blade. He hasn't faced a lot of balls, Gallagher. Bob Forrest has taken most of the strike. Taken 3 down to Clinton, and the cries of no arm come from Clontarf. Always a harsh call, but I suppose in this day and age you got to look out for those sort of fielders and target them. But like I was saying, people like Ed Joyce were around when they were playing those games, and they were flying in, and they were getting a train and a bus to get to the ground, and I suppose flying over and getting picked up by an England cricket bus, and it just, everything felt like we were there and we were a full team, and we weren't being treated like a lesser team. I suppose for a lot of the senior guys that would have been a big standout. Good over for Clontarf, this 7 or 8 from it. Ticking the runs over nicely. 74 for 4 off 11.
And just before I break away from that wonderful fixture, was the sort of the Irish Middlesex element of that fixture was incredible as well, between yourself, Joyce, Murta, Sterlo.
I think there was more. Well, obviously I'm not with
really.
Middlesex, but I think there was more Middlesex players playing for Ireland than there were for England.
Yeah.
2 to us and 1 to them.
Yeah. But you loved your time.
Oh yeah, I did. Yeah, never. I don't have a bad word to say about the place. Angus Fraser, probably one of the best people I've worked with in cricket, apart from yourself, of course, Italy.
Thank you, Balbo.
But yeah, no, great place and great people. Shaukat looking like he's going to bowl his 4 overs straight here. I think I'm right in thinking this is his 4th, is it? Or
yeah,
3rd?
I think it's his 4th, but we'll get that checked now in just a minute. But I think it's a smart move on the part of the hill skipper to keep him going.
Yeah, exactly. His tail's up. He probably doesn't want to bowl him in the death. Just bowl these sort of key middle overs. He's bowled a lot of dots. We could see something from Forrest here. Nope. Clever cricket hitting it. Clinton or Yaqub Ali mid-off. Hits the stumps. No buzzers.
You're right. Really, Declan Gallagher has faced very few balls since he came in.
Yeah, he hasn't faced any. We haven't really been able to see what sort of player he is, because, like I said at the start, Forrest has taken the initiative and is trying to face as many balls as possible. But when he has been on strike, Gallagher, he's being smart. He's probably gone on the run a ball. He's played some deft shots.
In comes Shaukat. Gallagher on strike. It's a good shot.
Yeah, it's the sort of shot we were talking about.
Yeah.
Ali gave him a bit of width the over before, and And Shaicott's given him that bit of width here, and he's cut it away beautifully past Murphy at point and beats Cartwright at third man. It's raced away. It's a quick outfield on this side particularly, but when you get it at those angles, it really does race away. Starting to pick up the run right here, Clontarf, putting the bad ball away, picking up ones and twos when they can.